So these are the home play exercises of lesson 18 of Deep Body Wisdom. The first home play exercise is an inquiry. It's an inquiry into who we truly are. And it's actually a very simple exercise, but it works best if you do this with a partner. So it would be really great if you did it with your beloved, or if you did it with somebody in your pod, because although we can ask the questions to ourselves, it makes a lot more sense if we can just be the person who answers the question rather than having to be the questioner and the answerer. I don't know if there's such a word, if that makes sense. So it's a very, very simple exercise. Your partner is simply going to ask you, who are you? And then you will answer, I'm a human being, or whatever. And they will then say, thank you. But who are you? And then you will answer, I am a teacher. And they will say, thank you. But who are you? And you will answer, I am mother, or I am whatever. And you will keep doing this exercise over and over and over again. And I know there will be times, I've done this exercise myself before. There are times when you get so irritated with having to answer this question, but allow it. Sit with that emotion. Remember, we are developing our capacity to sit with difficult emotions. And if there is a difficult emotion like frustration or resentment or anger, that's information right there. And we have the capacity to sit with difficult emotions. So sit with those emotions and keep answering the question. Keep going, and keep going. I would suggest that you do this exercise for at least 10 minutes. All right? And don't get angry at your questioner. They are simply being the one who helps you in this endeavor. And if you don't have a questioner, by all means, then ask yourself. But it is better if you could get somebody to do it with you. All right, so that's the first part of this, part A. And then part B, the same exercise, someone's going to keep asking you the same question. And that question is, what do you want? Okay? I want to have a satisfying job. Thank you. What do you want? I want to make a lot of money. Thank you. What do you want? I want to have a comfortable life. Thank you. What do you want? And they keep asking that question, what do you want? What do you want? For 5 to 10 minutes. And then when you're done with this exercise, sit down with your journal and write down what you discovered. I have found every time I've done this exercise, I've discovered something new about myself, because it really tends to strip away the layers of illusion, the layers of story, the layers of all that stuff, all the social construct, all the ideas we have about ourselves, and really get to the essence of who we truly are and what we truly want. And essence, what we are doing here is we are accessing that knowing of the wisdom body, of the higher mind. Okay, so that's the first exercise of the home play. The second exercise of the home play is about becoming the subject of our desires. Let me explain what I mean by that. We all know what it means to have an object of our desires, right? So that is the thing outside of ourselves that we desire. So the chocolate cake, or the Ferrari, or that gorgeous person that we just desire so much, right? So that's the object of our desires. In this exercise, we are focusing on being the subject of our desires. So what it means to be the subject of your desires is that you are the one who desires. You are the desirer, the one who desires, right? So we're shifting the focus back into the desiring. Okay. Why are we doing this? It is because when we are tapping into the higher mind, into the wisdom body, we realize that that is the executive function. We don't have to immediately rush to fulfill our desires. That might be quite a novel thought. We don't have to have a desire for a piece of chocolate cake and immediately eat that piece of chocolate cake. Or we don't have to have a desire to buy this beautiful dress and immediately buy it. We don't actually have to do that. We can be in the state of desiring. We can be the one who desires. We can be the subject of our desires. And it might sound like that's going to be very frustrating and annoying and I'm going to feel thwarted, but it's actually not. Because we are tapping into the wisdom body, we are actually residing in that state of desiring, we are noticing that we are the one who desires. And there's something very yummy and delicious and juicy about being in desiring. I really would urge you to give it a try. So, how it's going to work is the following. The next time you feel a desire for something, let's say, I really desire to eat that piece of chocolate cake. Instead of going and eating that chocolate cake, you're just simply going to sit down, take a deep breath in, close your eyes, and focus within. Focus within. And be with the desire. Become the subject of your desire. Notice the desire. Notice the desire. Where is it in your body? How does it feel? What is the texture, the sensation, the feeling associated with that desire? Be in that state of desiring and notice how yummy and juicy and wonderful it feels to desire something. To desire something is to be alive. We all desire things in this world. We crave them, we desire them, we want them. Okay, so notice how it feels to be in that state of desiring. Okay, and then when you are in that state of desiring, you can just give it a little bit of time. Just be with it and notice if anything changes. Notice if you can transcend that desiring and access your higher mind or your wisdom body. And notice what happens with the desiring. Okay, this sounds very theoretical. You actually have to try it yourself. All right, so sit there in your desire and then just notice if you can expand. So helping to breathe into that desire, if you can expand and expand into that feeling of desiring and notice if something changes. Notice if that tight clenching of that desire, that I want it, if it starts to release and open a little bit, and if there becomes some spaciousness and some allowing and some intuitive knowing about that desiring. See if that actually happens. What you are in effect doing is you are moving from your ego mind's craving and desiring into your higher mind or your wisdom body. And then new perceptions arise, new intuitions and knowings. For example, you might have an intuition, you know what, or a knowing, I actually don't want that piece of cake. It's not in alignment with my value system for myself. It's not in alignment with my desire to live a healthier life or to be kinder and more gentle and more compassionate with my body or whatever it is. Or, chasing after that person that I find so hot and sexy is not in alignment with my higher vision for myself. Because that person is at a lower frequency or whatever it might be. So notice in this exercise, therefore, the yumminess, the juiciness of being the desirer, the subject of your desires, and then notice if you can lift the frequency of your consciousness to your wisdom body and notice what happens with that desiring. Okay, and then obviously, as always, journal that. And then the final home play exercise for this lesson is to do the meditation, which is called dancing with your higher mind or dancing with your wisdom body. Okay, so that is a separate recording. So do that meditation and then, as always, journal about your experiences. All right, and then I will see you in lesson 19. Bye-bye.